Gabby Coletta. We're here at Craters of the Moon National Monument, and today's practice is going to be a juicy, nourishing, grounding Soma Sadhana. So, Soma is this nectar of the moon. It's said to be kind of the silky, nourishing essence that can really tonify and build our Ojas, our life force. And so, as we move into our sadhana, or personal practice, the invitation is, can you drop into a place of nourishment? Can you make choices not just in the physical form, but also in what you're paying attention to, that invite a cooling, calming, and grounding energy into your practice? You might want 2 bricks, you might want a strap. We're working towards a heart and hip opener pose. Otherwise, I'll meet you in child's pose. Take your knees wide, big toes touch, arms long in front of you. Go ahead and let your forehead come to rest, either on the earth or maybe a brick, stacked fists. Take a spacious inhale, letting the skin on the back stretch, and as you exhale, allow your bones to settle, your body to give its weight to gravity. And take 2 more big breaths here. As you inhale, let the breath expand the ribs, the back body. And as you exhale, let your bones get heavy. Let your muscles soften. Any gripping, find ease. And 1 more. Gently seal the lips and start to deepen your breath. Elongate the inhale, drawing the inhale through the nose, and elongate the exhale as well. Starting to invite ujjayi breath, so it's a little constriction in the back of the throat, almost like the sound of the ocean. As you're in child's pose here, deepening your inhale, deepening the exhale, start to even imagine or visualize the waves of an ocean as you inhale, washing over the whole body. There's a pause where the water seeps into sand, and then exhale, the wave retreats back into the ocean. And continue, you can carry on with this visualization, or you can release it. But simply tuning into this ujjayi breath, this victorious breath, that'll be the anchor for the mind. And so it's said that when we have soma, then we have some mental resilience, emotional resilience. And anytime the mind wants to wander in this practice, you can use a breath as a way of anchoring your presence. Start to sway into the hips side to side, getting into the hip creases, inviting some juiciness, water element here. You can massage the forehead on the earth or bricks, connecting with your third eye center, your intuition. Walk your hands over to the right side of the mat, maybe left hand on top of right. Big inhale as you let the left ribs expand. And exhale as you pull the left sit bone back in space. Start to walk your hands through center over to the other side, right hand on top of left. And take a spacious, luxurious inhale in the right ribs, right lung fills up. As you exhale, pull the right sit bone back. Walk your hands to center, really spread the hands and liven the arms. Now on your next inhale, rise to table. Stack the shoulders over the wrists, really spread hands. Next inhale, draw the heart forward, lift the chin, the gaze as the belly drops. Exhale to press the earth away, round into cat pose, Vinyasa. Pull shoulder blades away from each other. Start to move with your breath. The inhale creates opening across the heart, front of the body. And the exhale opens up the back of the body, back of heart, receiving side. You can stay with cow and cat on your breath or start to invite this element of sahaja yoga, the spontaneous movement, anything organic, anything that feels delicious, like you're moving any sticky parts out of the body. You can C-curve the spine, barrel the torso. About 2 more breaths here. One more breath. Come back to your table. As you inhale, draw the heart forward, lift the chin. On your exhale, lion's breath as you round into cat pose. Stick out the tongue. And twice more. As you inhale, heart opens. Exhale, stick out the tongue, really stretch the jaw. Cleansing our breath. Once more, inhale. Lion's breath, let it go. You can keep your shins hips width apart or walk your shins together. Sit bones towards the heels. And on your next inhale, take your hips to the right wrist, the left wrist, and back for large hip circles here. Spread the hands, press the fingertips into the earth. And just start to imagine churning up anything stagnant in the hips. Any low back pain here, draw the low belly in. Next time your hips reach your heels, go the other way. Hips towards the left wrist, right wrist, and back towards heels. And big hip circles. You can keep the eyes closed if that helps you drop into a place of feeling, sensing, noticing how different movements are opening parts of the body. And then slowly make your way back to table. Separate the knees, hips width if they were together. Send your right arm to the sky, open across the chest, big wingspan, heart open. And then thread right arm under left. Rest the right shoulder, the right cheek. Start pressing the left hand into the earth to spiral a deeper twist. Yogi's choice here, you can keep your left hand as is, walk the left fingers forward, or take a half bind. Maybe you add a little leg stretch, sending the left leg back, tucking the toes on the earth. Or maybe if your quad feels open, lift the leg, bend the knee, grab onto the ankle, and kick hand into foot. Release your left knee to meet the right. Left hand frames the face, press into the earth, unravel right arm to sky. And release the right hand down. Other side, left arm sweeps up, find this wingspan across the heart as the shoulders peel down the back, and then thread left arm under right. Rest the left shoulder, the left cheek. Take the variation that calls you. You can lean into your grounded shoulder a bit to help traction a deeper twist. Maybe you take a leg variation, finding the quad stretch. Slowly, as you're ready, right knee meets the left, right hand frames the face, press into the earth, unravel, and release the top hand down. Rinse it out, one round of cow and cat here. Come back to your neutral spine, hips stay over the knees as you walk your hands forward for Anahatasana, heart melting pose. Take an inhale to elongate the spine, and as you exhale, melt your heart down. Even as the heart melts down, can you find a little lift under the armpits, spin the biceps towards the ears to the sky? And walk the hands back towards you. Tuck the toes, send the hips up. Adho Mukha Svanasana, first one of practice, so greet your body however you wish. You can settle into stillness, anchoring into the parts of the body touching the earth, or maybe invite some subtle movement. Start to spread the hands. Maybe the hands are a little wider if your shoulders feel tight today. Press into the L of the hands and melt your heart towards the back of the mat. Tilt the tailbone up, then sink the heels towards the earth with a generous bend in the knees. From here, shift weight forward into plank pose, and then hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And twice more, shift forward, long spine, crown of head lifts towards the front of the mat, hips up and back. And once more, shift forward, lower, knees, chest, chin to the earth. Slide onto the belly, untuck the toes, take the arms wide, wide arm Bhujangasana, lift the heart, exhale, release. Keep pressing the tops of the feet down, lift the heart, option to add a twist, drop left shoulder, look over right. Inhale back to center, heart lifts, shoulders loop back, opposite side. Come back to center, heart lifts, taps of feet press down, and then release, forehead to earth. Take the hands underneath your shoulders, and then press yourself through table, round the back through cat, and take it into your down dog. Take your feet as wide as the mat, point the toes out, the heels in. You might walk your hands one handprint closer to the feet. That helps sink the heels down. Start to sway into the hips side to side. Just rinsing through any sensation in the backs of the legs, hamstrings, hip creases. And then walk the hands towards the back of the mat into malasana, yogi squat. Toes out, heels in. Hands to heart center. Press the elbows into the knees, lift the heart. These deep hip openers can really help us ground, access earth element, especially if we're feeling any heated or intense emotions. Option to hold your malasana or add a kriya here. On your inhale, plant the hands, lift the hips, parallel the feet, and then exhale, sink back into malasana, maybe with a lion's breath. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, straighten the legs, bow forward. Exhale, malasana, lions. The last one. Straighten the legs, parallel the feet. Find your forward fold at the back of the mat. Take any variation that calls you. You can turn the palms up, having a more lunar, receptive motion with the arms. Maybe grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. Let the head be heavy. Maybe give it a little shake, releasing any mental clutter. And then release the hands down if you took an arm variation. Find your half lift, spine long, navel draws in. Exhale to fold. On your next inhale, find a half lift. This time, plant your left hand down in front of the face. Send your right arm to the sky for a twist. Deep bend into the left knee as you straighten right leg. Take a half bind here if it feels accessible, dropping top arm behind back. Then roll your heart to the sky a little more. Reach the right arm up, unravel, and release it down. Other side, left arm sweeps up, deep bend into the right knee as you straighten left leg, but draw the shoulders down back. Stay or take your half bind on this side. Roll the top shoulder back, knees are still facing forward. Unravel left arm to sky. And release. Find your half lift, weight is in the fronts of the feet, low ribs knit in. And then exhale, melt heart towards your thighs. Keep a soft bend in the knees, feel the four corners of the feet root, and then slowly unravel the spine. Just luxuriating in the journey, the entire stacking of vertebrae on top of vertebrae until you come to stand at the back of your mat. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips width. Make fists with your hands, and like empty coat sleeves, we'll move into twists here, letting the pressure of your hands just clear out some space in the chest, the lungs, clear out the kidneys, the low back. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow it down. Start to toe heel the feet in towards each other. Either big toes touch your feet hips width apart, yogi's choice. Half sun salutations. Reach up. Urdhva Hastasana. Gather your energy, your presence. Exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. Softness in the knees as you fold towards yourself. Find your half lift, collarbones broad, open heart. Exhale, fold even deeper, fingers in line with toes, forehead to shin. Reverse swan dive, press to the feet, reach all the way up, out to the side. Palms meet. Hands to heart center, samastitihi. All right, we'll add on to that. Inhale, reach up, grab onto your left wrist, and then crescent up and over to the right for a side stretch. Press through the inseam of the feet as you really draw your heart towards the sky. Hips stay square forward. Come back to center, take your opposite wrist, reach up and over to the other side. Think about knitting your low ribs in. Come back to center. Cactus the arms, lift the heart as your tailbone lengthens down. Reach the arms back to the sky, palms face each other, and then fold all the way down. Find your half lift, long spine, fold inward. Reverse swan dive, reach all the way up to the sky, palms touch. Hands to heart center. If your feet are together, separate them hips width apart. Same thing, but adding on. Reach the arms up, grab your left wrist, crescent up and over to the right as you exhale. Take the inhale back to center, take opposite wrist up and over to the left for a side stretch. Come back to center, cactus the arms, lift the heart, draw the navel in. And then take the hands behind the back. Clasp your hands. If you can't access that, then take standing camel, hands on sacrum. Press the knuckles down, lift the heart, find a baby back bend, and then exhale, fold all the way down, softness in the knees. If you have the clasped hands, let the clasped hands fall forward. If you don't, you can release the hands heavy to the earth. Then just pedal out the feet, maybe looking over one shoulder and then the other shoulder. Just feeling into sensation of the hamstrings and the twisting, the shoulder opening. When you're even on both sides, release both hands down. Everybody half lift, long spine. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive, press to the feet, reach all the way up, palms meet. Hands come to heart center. We'll transition to the earth, reach the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold all the way down, Uttanasana. Find your half lift and then walk your hands forward. Modified chaturanga will travel together. Shift your weight forward, shoulders over wrists. Lower knees, chest chin to the earth, slide onto the belly, Bhujangasana. Tops of the feet press down, heart lifts, back of neck long. Exhale, release forehead down. Your choice if you press through plank or use your knees to make your way into your down dog. 3 breaths in your down dog. Spread the hands, anchor into the L of the hands. Just be present with your breath, sensation. On your next inhale, send your right leg high to the sky. Open up the hips, stack right hip on top of left. You can bend and extend the leg, or just find some movement. Keep the shoulders squaring to the earth, squeeze the biceps towards each other. On your next inhale, send your right leg long and back, and then exhale, shift forward, land your right knee in the center of your mat. Spin the knife edge of your back foot down, open to a supported side plank, lift your left arm up. Breathe here. Go ahead and hover your back foot up. Option to either hold this or take an inhale, reaching left arm forward, exhale, elbow to knee. I'm going to do that twice more. Long body here, elbow to knee. Once more, elbow to knee. And either using support of your hand to grab the thigh or just working it forward, you're going to step the left foot forward. Plant both hands down. You might adjust your stance slightly. So you're in a low lunge, heart draws forward and up. And then as you exhale, shift your hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana. We'll move between Anjaneyasana and Ardha Hanumanasana. You're welcome to use the bricks here. As you inhale, lift the heart. And as you exhale, bow forward. Find what feels of service to your body. Just kind of rinsing out the hips, the hamstrings. One more breath, pulsing. On your next inhale, bend into your front leg. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee up. Rise up to crescent lunge. Open up warrior 2. As you arrive to your warrior 2, hips and shoulders are square to the long edge of the mat. Soften the gaze over your front fingers. Breathe here. Really press the knife edge of the back foot down. Turn the palms up. Inhale. As you exhale, draw the elbows in as if you're gathering up energy towards the torso, and then reach it long. 2 more. Inhale to extend. 1 more. Reach long, this time straighten the front leg. Pivot to face the long edge of the mat, heels in, toes out. Take it into your goddess stance. Shins are straight up and down. Your tailbone lengthens down as the heart lifts. Relax the shoulders, relax the face, the jaw. Release your right arm to the earth. Send your left arm up and over for a side stretch. And you just take it side to side. I'm just adding some opening in the side body, some movement that feels delightful to you. So it's okay if there's like a little movement in the legs too. Just allowing for a little more of a water element here. Come back to center. And then straighten the legs, parallel the feet. Inhale. Exhale, fold, hinging forward into your wide-legged fold. As you arrive in your wide-legged fold, take a half lift first. And then exhale, melt chest towards thighs. Walk your hands in line with your feet like they're sharing a tightrope. Let the crown of the head descend down. Pull the shoulders away from the ears so there's breath around the neck. And then shift your weight forward so it's in the fronts of the feet. Maybe even start to activate the thighs, drawing the thighs up, imagining pulling up energy from the earth, a grounding force. One more breath here. Find your half lift in your wide-legged fold, and then walk your hands to the front of the mat. Step your front foot back. Option to hold down dog or rinse through Vinyasa. You can use knees, chest, chin, or you can lower down through chaturanga. See if you can move really slowly, even in these transition poses. We'll journey into our left side together. Left leg rises from the inseam of the leg, and then open up the hip. You can bend and extend the leg. Find some movement. Keep the torso, the shoulders square to the earth. Reach the left leg long and back. Inhale. As you exhale, you'll land the knee at the center of the mat. Pivot the knife edge of your back foot down. Reach your right arm up. So we're moving into that supported side lunge. And there's variations here, yogi's choice. See if you can float your back leg up. As your right leg floats, option to stay or reach your right arm forward. Inhale, exhale, elbow to knee. And extend. 2 more times. And extend. Once more. Extend. And then either using the strength of the leg or maybe you grab onto the leg, you'll pivot to the face front of the mat. We'll move through our Anjaneyasana, Hanumanasana pulses. Inhale, heart lifts, navel draws in. Exhale, straighten the front leg, flex toes towards you, bow inward. And a couple times here, bend, getting a little stretch in the left hip flexor, and straighten, opening the hamstring. See if you can relax the jaw, soften the shoulders away from the ears as you do this. And then just move with the rhythm of your breath. Next time you bend into your front leg, tuck the back toes, lift the knee up, spiral, and then rise up to your crescent lunge. Open up warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So front heel is in line with the back heel or the arch. Soften your gaze over your right fingers. Flip the palms up, take an inhale as you exhale, draw the energy in. And then inhale, open, expand across the chest, the heart, gaze over front fingers, exhale, bring it in. Once more. And bring it in. We'll reach out, straighten the front leg, reach the arms up, pivot both heels in, open goddess pose. Breathe here. Take your arms out to a T, turn your right thumb down, loop it behind you. Either take a half bind, releasing left palm to the sky, or clasp the hands on the side of the ribs and drop left ear to left shoulder. Can you keep lengthening the tailbone down? Breathe. Bring the head back to center. Take clasped hands over to the opposite rib cage, right ear to right shoulder. Again, you can take a half bind variation if that's better. Come back to center, straighten the legs, parallel the feet, punch the knuckles down as you lift the heart, and then fold With your clasp, a wide-legged fold. Let the clasped hands fall towards the long edge of the mat, but then pull the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe even glue or bring the palms of the hands to touch. One more breath. And release the hands down. Find your half lift. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. Step the front foot back. Rinse through Vinyasa or skip it. Yogi's choice. We'll meet in down dog in a couple breaths. And again, if you're moving through your connecting Vinyasa, can you find slowness in the movement, really savoring even transition spaces? Wherever you are, take a cleansing breath, a lion's breath out. And then send your right leg high to the sky. Three-legged dog, open up the hip for one breath. Square the hips off. Step the foot between the hands. Keep your hands on the earth for a runner's lunge. Inhale. And then exhale, straighten the front leg. Bow forward for pyramid variation. We'll do that a couple times, similar to before. You can drop the back knee for a little more hip flexor opening. And then straighten. One more time. And straighten. Bend. Reach the arms forward and up. Open warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Rotate both toes in, heels in. Find your goddess pose. Take the hands to thighs. Inhale, exhale, twist. Drop one shoulder, look over the other. And come back to center and switch. And back to center. Once more each side. Back to center, last side. And come back to center. Straighten the legs, parallel the feet. Inhale. And then exhale, hinge forward, wide-legged stance. This time, as you settle into your wide-legged stance, start to bend into one knee, just stretching the adductor, the inner seam of the opposite leg. And then bend into the other knee. And do this slowly. And come back to center. And then you're going to take this into the widest straddle you can go, using the support of your arms, maybe forearms to do so. Some of us might be able to bring our groin really close to the earth, some of us not. Honor your threshold. And if there's any pain in the knees, that might be a sign to actually come up a little bit, that you might have crossed your threshold. Take one more breath where you are. And use the support of your hands to come on up, to toe heel the feet in slightly. Walk the hands to the front of the mat, and then drop the back knee down. Lizard variations of choice. You can turn the right toes towards 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock, staying on the fingertips. Breathe here. Maybe you take it into a twist, left fingers point out as you press into the right thigh, or a bind. If you want more quad stretch, bring the heel towards the sit bone. If you want more shoulder opening, kick the foot back and then draw your right shoulder back. Any pain in the low back or compression, really draw the navel in. Maybe get rid of the bind. One more breath. And release. When you're ready, step it back. Rinse through a vinyasa as you desire. You can always skip it, take a child's pose as needed. So much of cultivating Soma is finding what is nourishing to you in this moment. One more side of standing before we explore our peak pose. When you're ready, the left leg rises, three-legged dog. Open up the hip for one breath. Square the hips off, inhale. Then step the foot forward to a runner's lunge. As you inhale, lift the heart, maybe drop the back knee. Exhale to straighten the front legs, scissor inner thighs together, bow inward. Bend and extend here a couple times, making sure the knee doesn't go past the ankle. So front shin is straight up and down. And straighten, bow forward. Once more. Bend, melt the shoulders down the back, and straighten. And bend into the front leg. Reach the arms forward, up, open to your warrior two. As you arrive in your warrior two, pause. Then straighten the front leg, turn the toes in, heels out, back to our goddess pose. Breathe here. And this time, as you're here, you might close the eyes and just start to do small circles with the hips in one direction. You might even imagine or visualize breaking up anything stagnant, and then circles with the hips the other direction. And then bring your hands together and open up the fingers into Lotus Mudra. You can imagine that you're just receiving the nectar of your practice, of your presence, of your breath, of your body. And then straighten the legs. Parallel the feet, reach the arms out. Inhale. Exhale, fold. As you arrive in your wide-legged fold, yogi's choice. So you're welcome to stay folding deep, or you can take it into an open arm twist with a bind. So you can do that left to right. The other option is toes out, heels in for a skandasana, open arm twist, maybe even a bind. So find what you're choosing to do. And then as you're ready, make sure you come over into your other side. So it might be the wide-legged twist, might be a skandasana variation. If you're in skandasana, mindful not to lock out the knee, keep a little bend. Maybe there's a bind here. And then bring it back into your wide-legged fold if you took any of those other variations. Find your half lift and then walk your hands to the front of the mat. We'll meet in our lizard lunge on our opposite side, left side. You can turn your toes towards, left toes towards 10 o'clock this time. Always feel free to use bricks to bring the earth up to you. You can stay in lizard, lower down to forearms, maybe take it into a twist or a bind. Notice if the shoulders are inching to the ears, can you soften them down? Keep a little micro bend in your grounded hand, right hand. Take one more big breath here. Slowly release. Tuck the back toes, step the front foot back, rinse through a vinyasa. As you arrive in down dog, take your feet as wide as the mat, toes out, heels in, sway side to side. So just notice how this feels, maybe different, maybe the same from the beginning of class. Start to walk your hands towards your feet. Find malasana at the back of your mat. Maybe hold the malasana or find open arm twists. Plant the hands down, lift the hips. Start to toe heel the feet towards each other. So we're moving into our peak pose. If your shoulders are tight, you might want your strap, so you might have to journey to find it. Inhale, half lift. Plant your left hand down in front of the face, maybe on a brick. I'll demo with the strap if you're using the strap. You'll open up the strap and take it into your right hand and find a twist. You might loop the strap behind your back. Okay, so you could stay here, just working this pose. You can also drop the top arm behind the back into a half bind. Deep bend in the left knee as your right leg is straight. Stay here or weave your left arm between the legs, grab onto the strap, or maybe even grab on to your hands. Start to ground into your right foot, get light on your left foot. Maybe this is where you stay, or you slowly carry the left leg up. And you might keep the left leg bent, depending on how the hamstrings feel. Or you might start to straighten it into your bird of paradise. Try to keep the collarbones open and broad. Breathe, and slowly come on out. You'll unravel, opening up this wingspan, and release the top hand down. We'll do it straight into the other side, right hand down, left arm up. Deep bend into the right knee as you straighten left leg. You can stay here. This is a great place to stay. Maybe stay in the half bind. Or thread your right arm underneath your left. Grab onto the strap, clothing, the hands. Start to ground into your left foot. Come to the tippy toes of your right. Maybe that's where you stay, or maybe you slowly start to stand up. Try to keep opening across the chest. Maybe you straighten your right leg. And slowly come out. Big wingspan to unravel, and back down. Find your half lift. Fold inward. Walk your hands forward towards the front of the mat. Lower the knees down. Take a child's pose. Let your body rest. Let your body find sukham, ease as the bones settle. And rise to table. Tuck the toes, hips up and back. We'll make our way into pigeon. Right leg rises. Right knee lands behind the right wrist. Flex the foot. Back knee drops. Make sure you're not rocking onto your right sit bone. So we want our hips squaring forward. Draw the navel in, lift the heart. And then exhale to fold your heart towards the earth. You can take a brick, place it under third eye center or stacked fists. And see where you can let the body soften. If this feels painful on your right knee, then you can take figure 4 on your back, which looks like this. Take 3 of the slowest breaths in your hip opener. Really see if you can savor the breath, filter it through the whole body as if it's cleansing through any last bit of stagnant energy, holding. Imagine the breath blanketing over you. The exhales washing ease all over the body. One more breath. If you're in figure 4 on your back, you can simply switch sides. If you're in pigeon, lift the heart, tuck the back toes, send your right leg long and back. You can shake it out. You want to rinse through Vinyasa, go for it. Otherwise, we'll meet in pigeon on our other side. Left knee lands behind the left wrist as you're ready. And again, think about squaring both hips forward, lift the heart. Draw the inner thighs together as you bow forward. And let your forehead come to rest. And slow the breath down. Notice where the muscles are gripping. Can they relax? Can the shoulders soften down the back, just letting go of any excess burden, responsibility that's not yours in this moment? And take one more really slow breath here. Begin to make your way up from your hip opener. If you're in pigeon, tuck the back toes, send the leg long and back. You can shake it out or rinse through your final vinyasa. Eventually, we'll all meet on our bellies. So when you're ready, shift your weight forward. You can lower knees, chest, chin, or all the way down, your choice. As you arrive onto your belly, take your right hand out to the side, palm faces down, come to tent on the left fingers, and then roll your heart to the sky. Step your left foot back. You can take this into a half bind or quad stretch. Now the focus is on the right shoulder. Right head heavy. The more you roll your heart to the sky, the more of the shoulder opener you'll feel. If it's too intense, belly towards earth. We'll release, move to our other side. Left arm out, palm face down, come to tent on the right fingers, and then roll. Take the variation that calls you. And come back to center. Take the hands under the shoulders, press through all fours, round the back into child's pose. And go ahead and take the hands towards the heels. And from the forehead on the earth, you're just going to roll all the way to the crown of the head, lifting the sit bones to the sky, creating traction in the spine. Rabbit. Unravel, release sit bones to heels, drape the torso up. Scoot your hips to the side, send your legs long in front of you. As you arrive here, move the fleshy parts of the sit bones away, maybe put yourself up on a prop, reach the arms up. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, fold inward. Your arms can drape on either side. You can grab peace fingers to big toes, whatever delights you. Find a slight tuck of the chin so the back of the neck is long. And slowly lift up. Scooch to the center of the mat if you're not there. Lower onto your back. Plant the soles of the feet onto the earth. Just one bridge to rinse out the hips. Press into the feet. Lift the hips up. Breathe for 3. Lengthen your tailbone forward for 2. Lift the heart for 1. And release. Draw the knees into the chest and start mirror image circles, the knees away from each other and towards each other. Hug your right knee into the chest, send your left leg long, and then take your right knee into a half happy baby. Sole of the right foot to the sky, knee sinks towards the armpit. Press your left thigh bone down. Relax the jaw, the tongue. Then bend into the right knee, give it a squeeze, cross it over the body for a supine twist. You can take your right arm to a half cactus or half T. Let the body, the breath just rinse through the body. Come back to center and do the same thing on the other side. Draw the left knee in, find half happy baby, left sole of the foot to the sky. Press your right thigh down. Melt the back to the earth. Relax the jaw, the tongue, breathe, and then bend the left knee, hug it in towards the ribs, the armpit. Scooch the hips to the left, drop the knee to the right. Find your final supine twist. And slowly come back to center. Hug both knees in, check in if there's anything else that you need in your practice that would invite more soma, more nourishing energy through the whole body. Please honor that. Otherwise, I will leave you in Shavasana. Feel free to take a nice long Shavasana for your full integration. And just be mindful to take yourself out when you're ready. Legs long, arms on either side, palms face up in this gesture of receiving. Shavasana.